A record number of workers are quitting their jobs empowered by new leverage. 4.3 million quit in August, nearly 3% of the workforce, my friends. And this is just August. This doesn't go to September and now October with the freaking mandates. I've been following what's going on, FDNY, Fire Department of New York, like 26 stations closing. It's called Irish democracy. I wasn't familiar with that term until this morning. So let's read what Irish democracy is. I love it, man. Now, the Washington Post is a cloud show, so they're going to say, "Oh, it's because people have money." And it probably is some truth to that. Probably is, but they have the money to say, "I'm out of here." So let's read what Irish democracy is. Check this out. So we're going to go to Cold Fury, and I haven't followed Cold Fury for a while, but Cold Fury is a good, it's a good website to follow for sure. All right. Irish democracy consists of the widespread passive resistance to the decrees of the omnipotent state. Impotent. It is an impotent state. Omnipotent and impotent. All right. The premise behind Irish democracy is that the state lacks the enforcement power to have its way with millions upon millions of rebels. It's Muhammad Ghani's strategy, albeit without his overt confrontation with the institution of government. You can ignore the state and do as you please as long as you keep your head down. Irish democracy. I had read someplace, maybe my wife told me, the reason we got the Irish dance, the Irish, how they dance with their feet, is to keep they can dance, but they're just showing their shoulders like this, so it doesn't look like they're actually dancing. I don't know that's true, but I thought that was pretty interesting. So when the Brits would say, "You better not dance," Irish should keep doing the little Irish step kind of thing, and so they keep their like this. Hey, boy, hold on a second, let me get this guy. Think about like the Atlas Shrugged, Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged, the John Gall's, where's John Gall, and just where everyone just flees. The producers flee. Now, we're not going to flee to Colorado under a cloud cover like in Ayn Rand. That was always a little bit silly to me. But we're fleeing to our own internal areas here of saying, I'm not going to participate. I freaking love it, man. Let's keep going. So my man Glenn Reynolds had a thing today that this is where I heard of this. I never... the pros and cons of Irish democracy. If regular democracy isn't doing so well, maybe it's time to fall back on Irish democracy. That's what. All right, one second. Let's just read this right quick. But Yale political science James Scott calls a passive resistance of a society that doesn't like what its rulers are doing. In his book, Two Cheers for Anarchy, he writes, one need not to have an actual conspiracy to achieve the practical effects of conspiracy. More regimes have been brought piecemeal to their knees by what was called Irish democracy, the silent, dogged resistance, withdrawal, and truculence of millions of ordinary people than by revolutionary vanguards or rioting mobs. I freaking love it, man. So I want to show you something else here. One of y'all has sent this to me. I forgot your name. Sorry, brother. Look at this. This is household and nonprofit organizations, checkable deposits and currency asset level. And this is the billions of dollars, $3.6 billion of basically demand deposits, is what that's called, DDAs. The CD is called a time deposit, a TDA, because you're putting a time limit for when you can get it, or a time constraint on when you can get it. A demand deposit, you can get it whenever you want, on demand. Look at this, 3.6 billion of demand deposits. Tell me that's not crazy. So I want to go. Look at this dog. Hold on a second. Mouth McGee there. Let's Finney. Let's go edit graph, and we want to make this. All right, we're gonna make. Hold on just a second. Log. Love that dog. He's a knucklehead. So here's a log scale. All right. So look at this. Look at that. That's freaking nuts. Here's 2009. And here's 2021. Look, so people are voting with their wallets, man, with their pocketbooks. I'm freaking. I mean, obviously, it has a lot to do with the stupid stimulus, but I would tell you what, if that's what it takes to get people to go some old-fashioned Irish democracy. I mean, look at that. So just log means the percentages are the same. So 2 to 400 is the same as 400 to 800, which is the same as 800 to 1600, which is the same as 1600 to 3200. So the same. So if we go back here, I'm going to show you something. We don't log it, and we go to apply. This looks much more dramatic because 4 to 800 is the same as 8 to 1200 was the same as it's not the same in percentages. And the only thing that matters is percentages. So then we go to log, we hit apply. But still, look at that. Irish democracy, baby. I love it. You should exercise your own Irish democracy and make sure you vote your butt down there today. All right, see ya.